Nigerians, Remi Tinubu once told us that they don't need Nigeria's money to survive, that God has already blessed them, that they just want to come and help Nigeria as a country. Without any proactive steps in arresting the situation Nigeria is in today, this government is busy allocating money for presidential fleets. You can imagine, even the office of the wife of the president, which is not even in the constitution, has gotten its own share. Nigerians, do you approve of this? Do you approve this kind of rascality in spending?
I do not approve of this. The same family that told us that they do not need Nigeria's money to sustain, now is the same family that is taking Nigeria's money to do for themselves what is not known to law. There is no office of the First Lady that was voted for. Why should Nigerians be spending money to an office that is not allowed to be recognized by law? This is the problem. We never voted for Remi Tinubu as First Lady. Why is she spending our money? Why is her husband spending Nigeria's money for her upkeep? This is just unknown to law, and for me, it's where the problem is. And there are quite a lot of things. That particular
So, guys, you can see where the Supreme Court has brought Nigeria to. Yes, because they are the one that upheld the current government, the current president, as the president of Nigeria. And looking at the way things are going, this government has not been proactive. There is nothing they've done since they came into power. Look at the naira falling, inflation rising, unemployment rising, banditry and terrorism in Nigeria. All those things are not coming to a stop anytime soon, because we have a government that does not even have clue on how to address some of these issues. Let me just allow you watch this video. Just take your time, relax, and hear what Mr. Kachukwu got to say about all this.
The Nigerian Senate has passed the 2.17 trillion naira 2023 supplementary appropriation bill recently presented to it by President Bola Tinubu. Components of the budget include 605 billion naira for national security and defense, 300 billion naira for maintenance of bridges, especially the Eco Bridge, 210 billion naira for wage award for civil servants, and 400 billion naira for cash transfer to vulnerable households. 200 billion naira for seed and agricultural inputs and equipment, and 18 billion naira for Independent National Electoral Commission to conduct off-season elections, just to mention a few.
However, the controversial 5.5 billion naira allocated for presidential yacht was reallocated to student loan in the supplementary budget by the House of Representatives. And this means that education, which in this case a student's loan, would see an upward review of up to the tune of 10.5 billion naira. The chairperson of the House Committee on Appropriation, Abubakar Bichi, while speaking to journalists, said the committee removed the item and moved the money to the student loan section to make it 10 million naira. 10 billion naira, beg your pardon.
As far as we are concerned, we don't have that percentage anymore. We have increased the student loan. If you can recall, student loan was 5 billion naira in the budget, but now we have increased it from 5 to 10 billion so that our students can be able to access that facility in order for them to go to school and to be affordable for them. This is what it is actually.
So no more what?
Yeah, we don't have that yet anymore.
To look at the components of the supplementary budget and what it means for the average Nigerian, we're joined by public affairs analyst Katch Ononuju. Good morning and thank you for joining us.
Thank you very much for having me.
All right, you did see the clip we just played now of explanation being given as to what is being done with the money that was budgeted for the presidential yacht, money that has allegedly been relocated to the student loan. First of all, do you consider it embarrassing that, this had to be a conversation in the first place? Part of the defense that was given was that this yacht was not requested for in this administration. One, that two, it doesn't belong to the president, it's for the Navy. And, it was requested from during President Muhammadu Buhari's administration. So first, do you think that this excuse suffices? And, is this something to be embarrassed about?
Oh, well, I believe it's not an issue of talking about embarrassments. No, it's very teaching. I say that because people will now understand that the same recklessness we had under the Buhari administration seems to be bringing its head up under the Tinubu administration. So Now they've said this is not the first time somebody tried to insert that issue of a yacht. There's nothing like presidential yacht. No. Everything that the president needs can be done transporting him with a helicopter. And the military, the security services does have helicopter for that use. What would you use a yacht for? I think somebody wants to dispose of an ill-gotten yacht that has probably just stayed on their hands. That they want, you know how reckless our people can be. Disposing it, somebody could buy it and then pay the money, and it will rot in a place because it will never be used by the presidency. Be that as it may, we've moved on. And I will advise that we become very vigilant, that the same hawks, the same kind of crooked people who were there in fixing numbers under Buhari are still available. That's what we must learn. Not see it as an embarrassing thing. No, we must see it as a teaching moment that the same crooks who were there stealing money for nothing under the Buhari administration, the APC administration, are still there under this APC administration that is though Tinubu's administration. So we must all stay awake to understand that the snake is still there on the roof.
All right. I just want to quickly clarify something. I just want to quickly clarify something as to exactly what this proposed, or that this yacht, was for. First of all, according to the presidency, it was said that what is being named as the presidential yacht in the budget is an operational naval boat with specialized security gadgets suitable for high-profile operational inspection and not for the use of the president. It is called presidential yacht by way of nomenclature because of the high-level security features. The naval boat was ordered by the Navy under the previous administration. President Tinubu has consistently said that government is a continuum as he inherited both assets and liabilities of past administration. So do you think that this is a fair enough argument for, the yacht, presidential yacht?
No. These are just rhetorics used to blanket. There is nothing like a presidential yacht in security balances across the world. Any seacraft that is secure enough, that is big enough to be the command vessel of the Navy is a presidential craft. So this is just some fraudulent stories they are trying to tell you. Somebody may have seen, a bulletproof private yacht and thinking they can pass it off to Nigeria because it's a bulletproof private yacht into the hands of, no, you don't need that. What would you use it for? That's just, so that means the Navy is admitting that it was involved in deception. You're trying to deceptively give it a very fine, fancy name so that you pass. This is nonsense. If the presidency don't know about it, don't call it presidential product. If nobody ever talked about it, don't bring it up. Nobody needs such things. We don't need a presidential yacht. We don't need a yacht meant for only the president, meant for only one person. No, we don't need that. I mean, what we need are multi-purpose craft that can carry personnel and go and secure a job done. No, that's what we need.
Yeah, just to clarify once again, they are arguing that it is not meant for the president. It's only just named presidential yacht. But I just want to also add the fact that a yacht is a luxury craft. It's not, or rather, a luxury boat. It's not, a security boat. The United States does not have, a yacht in its navy. The last one, I think, was the USS Sequoia or something like that. But that one was decommissioned in 1977, and since then they have not found the need to use one or to have one. So Nigeria cannot be arguing that it needs a yacht in its navy. These are just, for me, just useless arguments. It's pretty clear that this was very, very unnecessary. What made them bold enough to even put it there in the first place is what we should be thinking about. But Mr. Ononuju, I want to also ask, it's not just a yacht. That one for me is one item. There's still the office of the First Lady getting 1.5 billion naira for cars. There's still the National Assembly getting billions of naira for SUVs. There's 400 billion naira that's meant to be used for cash transfers. There's, I think, court premises meant to be built about 10 or 40 billion naira for building courts. The vice president's residence is going to be getting about 3 or 4 billion naira. The president's house is going to be getting rehabilitation in billions of naira also. These are also items that were put in that budget that have been passed so far by a National Assembly that didn't go through that budget for up to a week. They didn't deliberate, they didn't debate anything for up to a week. So I want your thoughts on what we currently have that we call a National Assembly.
Well, it's not what we currently have. The state capture was total. So they have captured states and they think they can simply rule, and they do not care about the current hardship being felt by the rank and file of Nigerian citizenry. And that's what you see. This is not proper. This could even be worse than the Buhari era from what we are seeing. That's why I said earlier that it is very teaching. It's not an issue of how to be embarrassed. We have been embarrassed enough by the APC as a political party. What they will not do, we do not know. We're beginning now to see that recklessness we saw and we thought it was only particular to the Buhari gang. No, it's also here. A lot of these things are just not in the law. What is the office of the First Lady? The First Lady never ran for election. Why are we spending billions for buying cars for the First Lady? The same First Lady who told us that her family does not need Nigeria's money to survive. Now she is taking Nigeria's money for purchasing her bulletproof vehicles for an office that is not known to law. That tells you the kind of administration that the Tinubu government shall be. So this is what it is. Don't forget how these people came to power. So why would you expect them to respect us? No. If they captured state, captured judiciary, they are also likely to have captured the legislature and nobody will talk. So it is left for the Nigerian people to open up their mouths and talk. Don't forget, this government is not as legitimate as we will want to think. No, this is the same government that, though we saw evidence to have it step down, the Supreme Court said, please, for the sake of national unity, do this, do that, that we came late, that evidences came late. This is not proper. I do not approve of this. The same family that told us that they do not need Nigeria's money to sustain, now is the same family that is taking Nigeria's money to do for themselves what is not known to law. There is no office of the First Lady that was voted for. Why should Nigerians be spending money to an office that is not allowed to be recognized by law? This is the problem. We never voted for Remi Tinubu as First Lady. Why is she spending our money? Why is her husband spending Nigeria's money for her upkeep? This is just unknown to law, and for me, it's where the problem is. And there are quite a lot of things. That particular budget you saw passed yesterday is nothing but a luxury budget. That's why you saw PEPT, money to be chopped, cash transfers that we do not know who is going to, all sorts of things. None of these things are pertinent to nation building and to governance. He can do actually without a lot of these things that he got money requested for yesterday. And that just tells you the Tinubu administration does not promise to be an administration that Nigerians could look forward to. So we have a continuation of the issues that we saw with the last administration, where money was packed recklessly, where our oils were sold in forward contracts and money taken, and we didn't see any of the money put into anything. They were singing infrastructure. Today, our roads and infrastructure are very bad all over the place. When you see the current Minister for Works go around, you start to ask yourself, so what then did Fashola do for 8 years as Minister for Works?
And these are very vital questions to ask, Mr. Ononuju. Very vital questions and important to ask. A number of the reactions we've seen have been negative. Many people very disgruntled by the the monies that they're seeing in the budget and how it would seem that Nigerians were not prioritized. Would you say that there is any silver lining in the budget? The government has earmarked 210 billion naira to fulfill its pledge to pay 35,000 naira to about 1.5 million federal government employees for the months of October, November, and December. Would you say maybe this is something to be excited about? Are there any things or any provisions in the budget that maybe excite you and look like some measure of good news?
Well, you should understand that budgets are a government's expression of intent. And this expression of intentions tells us that these are purely intentions that are targeted towards personal aggrandizements. That's what you saw. Luxury vehicles, luxury this for that, luxury that for this. Nothing for the poor people. Nothing for the current hardship that Nigerians are experiencing everywhere, which they call our new shege. This new shege, I can tell you, is touching everybody. And the government, instead of thinking about ways to ameliorate the economic hardship we have currently in the country, are thinking of how to buy luxury vehicles, bulletproof vehicles for their wives and for things that we never ever thought were essential commodities under this kind of emergency life that Nigerians are having currently. I abhor and I condemn the actions of the Tinubu administration.
All right.
So, guys, you can see that this government, instead of taking Nigeria from consumption to production, they don't even have clue on how to start making Nigeria to becoming a producing state, a producing country. They are just there wasting the little resources we have. You can imagine the president allocating 5 billion to a yacht that nobody even knows who is going to use it, and using 5 billion for student loans, meaning that these people don't even value education. I mean, education is equal to yacht, presidential yacht. So, guys, you can see that honestly, Nigeria is in a mess when we have people who have no clue on how to take Nigeria to another level. Shebi is Supreme Court that brought us to where we are today. Nigerians are yet to see more terrible things because these people, they have to recover all they spent during the election. And any project for Nigeria is not coming anytime soon for now. Let me know what you think about this in the comment section. Please subscribe and turn on the notification bell. Thank you.